What's up guys, welcome to Dude and Iron. Today I'm going to answer a question, how to find out if my tire is directional or non-directional. So stick around. Alright, so why do I need to know if my tire is directional or non-directional? Two good reasons. Number one, if it's directional, you need to install it in current direction. And if it's non-directional, then you can get more bang for your buck, install it in one direction and then flip it, install it in the other direction to save some money. There is a video somewhere up here explaining the process. Alright, so it's not that difficult to find out about your tire, but sometimes it might be a little bit misleading, especially if you're running Dunlop, and I'll show you why. This is my old tire, Dunlop MX51, I believe. Yeah, Dunlop Geomax MX51. So first of all, look around the tire, all the lettering. If you see an arrow, the arrow is indicating the direction, and that means that your tire is directional. If you don't see any arrow, then most likely your tire is non-directional. Well, not most likely, but for sure it's non-directional. But sometimes it's a little bit misleading, because Dunlop actually has a logo right here. I'll show it to you closely. The logo actually looks like an arrow, so it might be a little bit misleading. Alright, so this is my front tire on my RMZ. You see the Dunlop logo, and then a little bit lower there is an arrow right here. So it's completely different, right? This arrow shows direction, and this logo is just the logo, doesn't show direction. Another pretty simple way, kind of common sense, is to look at your tire, look at the tread. Look at it and see if it's different if you flip it like this. You know what I mean? If you run the tire and then flip it 180, would it be different? I'll show you what I mean. This is my pedal tire, okay? This is of course directional tire because the pedals go in one direction. This is for sand. If I flip it like this, it looks completely different. If my tire goes like this, then it will grab the sand. If I flip it like that, my tire goes like that, it will slip on the sand, right? So this is a very clear example why direction is important. Now sometimes on some enduro tires you would have a tread that has is like V-shaped or has a little triangle or something like that. So usually if it's V-shaped, V is different this direction and you flip it is different. So usually those tires would be directional and you can only install it in one direction. But for tires like these, straight motocross, or even for the Husaberg, I have this trail tire. You see how it would be the same if you flip it the other way? Or in other words, if you put a tire on the wet ground, or a wet tire on the ground, and do a tire mark, and you flip it 180 and do tire mark next to it, if those tire marks look the same, then the tire is non-directional and you can install it in either direction. And you can install it in one, ride a little bit, and then flip it to the other, save some money. Alright guys, so that's about it. This is how you find out if your tire is directional or non-directional. Oh yeah, one more thing, since we are talking about tires today, maybe you guys can help me to figure something out. I was riding on my KTM a couple of weeks ago and I got a flat tire. Dude, I was looking for that nail everywhere and I couldn't really see why my tire is flat. I have tire right here, I can show it to you, maybe you can see it. This is it. I couldn't find the reason why I got flat tire. I'll show you closely to you. If you see the reason, leave it below in a comment. I would appreciate that. Thanks. See you guys later, and as always, stay motivated.